Bugün legendaların derdi hatta Floyd Mayweather, Crawford.
A lot of times I'm working in the gym, my hands be so fast, so I work with different size gloves, but most of the time when you see me on the bag, I make it look so light, I make it look so sweet. They be 16s. So that's what they be. So it shit come fast, you know. Shit come fast. Shit come fast. It make no much.
Eddie, we were talking a little while ago and I completely, I blanked. I forgot to ask you this. I wanted to know, when you were with Mayweather and Floyd and all them yesterday, was there Canelo talk? There had to be something.
No, there wasn't.
Nothing?
Honestly.
Terence didn't mention the fight, didn't say anything. You didn't talk to him about it. Floyd,
Sorry.
not a peep.
Not a word.
Okay.
Sorry.
Hey, no, it's all good. Thanks, Eddie.
Yeah, people want to see that fight, and maybe they see that fight. We don't know yet, right? But maybe they see that fight, and I'm always open to good fights, you know. And don't get me wrong, he's a good fighter. He's really good abilities and everything. And maybe we will see that fight.
Canelo confirmed his intent to face Crawford, acknowledging the widespread interest and expressing a clear openness to the highly anticipated bout. Canelo sets the stage by affirming his willingness to face any top competitor and stated, "Yeah, you know, it's at this point I fight with everybody, with every champion, with all the best out there." This declaration strongly suggests Canelo is willing to take on any elite fighter, including Crawford, building excitement for a potential clash of boxing giants. This willingness to face the best underscores Canelo's competitive fire, a key factor in his illustrious career. It reinforces his image as a true champion, eager to prove himself against the toughest opposition. The possibility of a Canelo-Crawford showdown has ignited the boxing world, promising a high-stakes battle with major implications for the sports landscape. This fight would not only be a clash of styles, but also a test of legacies, further amplifying the anticipation among fans and pundits alike. While willing to face top champions, Canelo makes it clear that respect is paramount, and his refusal to fight Benavidez stems from what he perceives as a disrespectful approach. He doesn't believe he owes anyone a payday, especially those who call him out in a manner he deems inappropriate. This highlights Canelo's emphasis on respect within the sport, suggesting that even a lucrative fight isn't worth it if it comes with perceived disrespect. It reveals a principle-driven approach to his career, where personal values outweigh purely financial considerations. This stance has sparked debate among fans, with some supporting his right to choose his opponents and others criticizing him for seemingly avoiding a challenging matchup. This decision has further fueled the rivalry between the two fighters and their respective fan bases.
And when somebody approaches you like that and call you out like that, you don't need to give them money. So, and like I say, I can do whatever I want now, and just I don't like that way he approached for taking the fight.
This principled stance underscores Canelo's position as a dominant force in boxing, allowing him to dictate terms and choose opponents based on more than just potential earnings. It showcases his independence and control over his career, a privilege earned through years of success and hard work. This approach has generated both admiration and controversy, adding another layer of intrigue to Canelo's already fascinating career. His decisions regarding future opponents will continue to be closely watched by the boxing world. The contrast between his openness to facing champions like Crawford and his refusal to engage with Benavidez based on perceived disrespect creates a complex narrative around his choices. This situation emphasizes the importance of respect and proper conduct in negotiations within the boxing world, a lesson that other fighters may take note of. Turning his attention to Terence Crawford, Canelo explains his willingness to entertain the matchup, citing Crawford's respectful approach. He acknowledges Crawford's direct and respectful desire for the fight, fight. Canelo explains his position. I think he's wanted the fight and doing respectful, you know, I want Canelo. No, nothing bad, saying bad things about me, whatever. This statement highlights the stark difference in how Canelo views Crawford compared to Benavidez. Crawford's respectful pursuit of the fight aligns with Canelo's own emphasis on proper conduct. This positive interaction opens the door for negotiations and builds anticipation for a potential mega fight. It also showcases Canelo's willingness to reward respectful behavior with consideration for a fight. This approach not only shapes his own career, but also sets a precedent for other fighters seeking high-profile matchups. The contrast between his responses to Crawford and Benavidez further underscores the importance Canelo places on respect. However, Canelo adds a layer of uncertainty, suggesting that his decisions are ultimately his own and can change at any moment. He emphasizes his autonomy in choosing his opponents, adding a touch of unpredictability to the situation. Canelo concludes this part by saying, "But like I say, you never know too. Maybe someday I wake up and I say I want to beat this guy." This final comment injects an element of surprise, reminding everyone that Canelo is ultimately in control of his own destiny. It leaves the door open for unexpected matchups and keeps fans guessing about his next move. This unpredictability is a hallmark of Canelo's career, adding to his mystique and keeping the boxing world on its toes. This approach has served him well, allowing him to maintain a high level of excitement around his career. This statement also suggests that while respect is important, Canelo's own desires and motivations will ultimately dictate his choices in the ring. This reinforces his position as a star who operates on his own terms. For Canelo, respect is not just a word, it's a guiding principle. He consistently emphasizes the importance of respecting opponents and all individuals within the sport. This philosophy dictates his interactions and influences his decisions regarding future matchups. This respect-based approach is a cornerstone of his public persona and influences how he conducts himself both inside and outside the ring.
Yeah, I always respect my opponents and every single fighter, every single people. Obviously, if they don't, okay, it's different, no, but yeah, I always try to respect people, respect the fighters, respect my opponents. I'm not that kind of guy. I never go into a fight or into bad things with people. But if somebody disrespect me, that's different.
This focus on respect explains Canelo's contrasting reactions to Crawford and Benavidez. While he's open to fighting those who show him respect, he's unwilling to engage with those he perceives as disrespectful. This principle acts as a filter for potential opponents, guiding his choices and shaping his career trajectory. This stance creates a clear message: respect is a non-negotiable factor when it comes to facing Canelo. This approach also adds a personal dimension to his business decisions, showing that he values more than just money or titles. The controversy surrounding his decisions further amplifies his influence and keeps him at the center of boxing discussions. Beyond respect, Canelo emphasizes his willingness to take risks and embrace challenges, a key element that could draw him to a fight with Crawford. He highlights his history of moving up and down weight classes, demonstrating a fearlessness that aligns with facing a smaller but highly skilled opponent like Crawford. Canelo states, "I take my risk my whole career open down in weight classes, so because I really love challenge and I really love what I do, and I try to put to show everybody how good I am to do in going up and in down in weight." This declaration of his willingness to take risks adds another layer to the potential Crawford fight. It suggests that Canelo isn't afraid of the challenge, even if it means facing a fighter from a lower weight class. This could be interpreted as a sign of confidence in his own abilities, further fueling speculation about a potential clash. This also demonstrates that Canelo isn't solely motivated by easy wins or guaranteed paydays. He actively seeks out challenging matchups. This mindset makes a fight with Crawford, despite the size difference, a potentially intriguing proposition for him. This adventurous spirit is a crucial aspect of his boxing legacy. Furthermore, Canelo emphasizes that his motivation comes from a genuine love of the sport and a desire to prove himself, not from a focus on his record or past accomplishments. This suggests that the Crawford fight, while perhaps not adding significantly to his already impressive resume in terms of weight class achievements, could still appeal to him as a personal challenge and a chance to showcase his skills against a highly regarded opponent. Like Canelo stated undefeated and just say I never looked my record and say, oh, I did this. This statement reinforces the idea that Canelo is driven by a desire to compete against the best, regardless of the perceived risk or reward. This mindset is essential for a potential fight with Crawford, as it suggests that Canelo is willing to step outside his comfort zone for the sake of a compelling matchup. This attitude also underscores his commitment to the sport itself, rather than simply chasing accolades or financial gain. This perspective makes the possibility of a Crawford fight even more compelling, as it suggests that Canelo would enter the ring with a genuine desire to test his skills against a worthy opponent. This focus on the present challenge rather than past achievements is a defining characteristic of Canelo's approach to boxing. Canelo's focus on the present challenge rather than past achievements is a defining characteristic of his approach to boxing. The willingness to take risks and embrace challenges, coupled with his respect-based approach to negotiations, sets the stage for potential future matchups, including the highly anticipated clash with Crawford. However, the opinions of other prominent figures in boxing also contribute to the narrative surrounding this potential fight, particularly regarding whether Crawford has what it takes to defeat Canelo. The perspective of seasoned promoters and experts provides valuable insight into the dynamics of such a matchup.
Well, I wouldn't count Crawford out in any fight, because Crawford has a unique talent. He's a great boxer puncher, and he is totally ambidextrous. So he drives his opponent crazy because the opponent trains to fight a right-handed fighter and ends up fighting a southpaw.
Bob Arum's assessment directly addresses the question of whether Crawford could realistically defeat Canelo. His emphasis on Crawford's unique talent, boxer-puncher style, and ambidextrous ability positions Crawford as a potentially dangerous opponent, even for a fighter of Canelo's caliber. Arum's analysis suggests that Crawford's unorthodox style could pose significant problems for Canelo, making the fight far from a foregone conclusion. This expert opinion adds a layer of intrigue and fuels the debate about the potential outcome of this hypothetical matchup. This also creates a compelling narrative of a stylistic clash, further heightening interest in a potential clash. Arum's comments contribute to the overall anticipation and debate surrounding this potential showdown. Adding another perspective to the debate, Crawford's trainer Brian Bomac McIntyre addresses the common criticism that Crawford hasn't faced top-tier competition. He counters this narrative by suggesting that Crawford elevates his opponents, making them appear less skilled than they actually are. This defense of Crawford's resume directly ties into the question of whether he's a worthy opponent for Canelo.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this. I think Crawford rebuttal was everybody always say he hasn't fought nobody, or everybody that he fought was a no name. But I'm gonna tell you like this: what Crawford said, well, there was something until Crawford fought him. So obviously he's doing a great job because he's making everybody look normal.
Bomac's defense of Crawford's record adds fuel to the fire, further complicating the narrative surrounding a potential Canelo fight. His argument suggests that Crawford's dominance has been so complete that it has inadvertently diminished the perceived quality of his opposition. This perspective challenges the notion that Crawford hasn't been tested, implying that he's simply been that good. This viewpoint adds another layer of intrigue to the potential matchup with Canelo, as it suggests that Crawford's true potential has yet to be fully realized against a fighter of Canelo's stature. This also frames the potential fight as a chance for Crawford to finally silence his critics and prove his worth on the biggest stage. This creates even more excitement for a potential clash between these two elite fighters. Bomac further emphasizes Crawford's unwavering desire to prove himself against the best, dismissing any need for special conditions or stipulations. He positions Crawford as a fighter willing to face any challenge head-on, including a significant size difference against Canelo. Bomac states, Crawford wants to show the world that he's the best. So hey, why put stipulations in there when you know that you can be the best? So let's go test ourselves. This bold statement underscores Crawford's confidence and willingness to take on any challenge, solidifying the narrative of a true champion seeking the toughest tests. This attitude aligns perfectly with the high-stakes nature of a potential Canelo fight, further amplifying the anticipation. This also suggests that Crawford isn't looking for any advantages or excuses. He simply wants to prove his worth against the best. This no stipulations approach adds a sense of old school boxing bravado to the potential matchup, making it even more appealing to fans. This further emphasizes the contrast between Crawford's approach and the perceived complexities surrounding other potential Canelo fights. The straightforward desire to test ourselves adds another layer of excitement to the prospect of this clash. Adding another perspective to the mix, rising star Jaron Ennis weighs in on the potential Canelo-Crawford matchup, offering a neutral and intriguing assessment. He acknowledges the fight's appeal and its potential competitiveness.
It's a good fight, a 50-50 fight, and I guess it's a fight that everybody wants to see, so, I mean, it's a good fight.
Ennis's neutral assessment of the fight as a 50-50 matchup further fuels the debate and underscores the uncertainty surrounding the potential outcome. This balanced perspective adds to the excitement and anticipation, suggesting that the fight could be a truly competitive and thrilling contest. This also highlights the widespread interest in this potential clash across the boxing world. Ennis's neutral assessment of the fight as a 50-50 matchup further fuels the debate and underscores the uncertainty surrounding the potential outcome. This balanced perspective adds to the excitement and anticipation, suggesting that the fight could be a truly competitive and thrilling contest. This also highlights the widespread interest in this potential clash across the boxing world. He now delves into the practical challenges Crawford would face in moving up to fight Canelo. Ennis specifically addresses the weight difference and the potential impact it could have on Crawford's performance. He acknowledges the difficulty of gaining significant weight and maintaining speed and agility.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a little difficult because you gotta, what are you gonna have to put on, like an extra 14 pounds, so he might be a little slower, or who knows, he could be faster, I don't know, like it's just, you gotta add more weight and gain more muscle and stuff like that, moving up in weight and things like that, so it's a little harder, but I don't know, we'll see on fight night how he'll look.
Ennis's analysis of the weight factor adds a crucial element to the discussion, highlighting the physical challenges Crawford would need to overcome. He raises valid concerns about potential changes in Crawford's speed and overall performance due to the added weight, while also acknowledging the possibility that Crawford could adapt successfully. This perspective adds a realistic dimension to the hypothetical matchup, prompting consideration of the physical dynamics involved. This also avoids simply hyping the fight and instead offers a more nuanced breakdown of the potential difficulties. This analysis contributes to the broader conversation about whether Crawford's skills can overcome the natural size difference. The question of how Crawford would handle the weight gain adds another layer of intrigue for fans eagerly awaiting a potential clash. Offering specific advice to Crawford, Ennis suggests a strategic approach focused on movement and avoiding direct exchanges with Canelo's power. He emphasizes the importance of using boxing skills and maintaining distance. Ennis advises, be smart, take his time box, and move, don't sit there and let him try to bomb on him. This advice from Ennis provides valuable tactical insight into how Crawford could potentially neutralize Canelo's power advantage. He suggests a classic boxer's approach, emphasizing footwork, timing, and avoiding a toe-to-toe slugfest. This tactical analysis adds another layer of complexity to the potential fight, prompting discussions about different fighting styles and strategies. This advice also highlights the respect Ennis has for Canelo's power, acknowledging the danger of engaging him in close-range exchanges. By suggesting a specific game plan, Ennis contributes to the ongoing debate about how Crawford could potentially overcome the size difference. This also creates a compelling narrative of a strategic battle between two highly skilled fighters. This advice adds another layer of excitement for fans anticipating a potential clash. Turning his attention to Canelo, Ennis offers advice on how the bigger fighter could utilize his advantages. He suggests a strategy focused on aggression, pressure, and cutting off the ring. Ennis advises Canelo, I feel like Canelo just going pressing, had the pressing everything behind the stick, and catch him trying to pull out. Pull back anything, cutting the ring off, things like that. This advice to Canelo paints a picture of a relentless, pressure-heavy approach, aiming to trap Crawford and exploit his power. This tactical counterpoint further enhances the narrative of a stylistic clash, with each fighter needing to implement a specific game plan to succeed. This also suggests that Ennis sees the size difference as a significant advantage for Canelo if he can effectively control the ring. This advice also creates a compelling tactical battle within the broader narrative of the fight, making it even more appealing to fans. This further adds to the complexity of the potential matchup, with both fighters needing to execute their strategies effectively. While tactical analyses and expert opinions fuel the speculation, Canelo himself emphasizes his enduring passion for boxing, suggesting that the drive to compete is still a powerful motivator. This passion could be a key factor in his decision-making regarding future opponents, including Crawford.
I love what I do. I love being in training camp, being fighting, being in a fight, and I still enjoy it. And you know, I feel really good. They always asking me, and I say, you know, this Canelo beat the Canelo 26, 27, 28, 29 years old. So I feel in my best, and I still enjoy.
Canelo's continued love for the sport suggests that he's not simply chasing paydays or legacy-building fights. He genuinely enjoys the process of training and competing. This passion could be a significant factor in his willingness to take on challenging matchups like Crawford. This also implies that the potential Crawford fight wouldn't just be a business decision, but a fight driven by his competitive spirit, and this adds another layer of intrigue to the potential matchup, as it suggests that Canelo would enter the ring with a genuine desire to test his skills. This intrinsic motivation adds to the overall excitement surrounding the possibility of this clash. The potential Canelo vs. Crawford fight is a complex and fascinating matchup. Canelo's openness to the fight, combined with Crawford's unwavering desire to prove himself, creates a compelling narrative. Expert opinions highlight the stylistic clash and the physical challenges involved, adding further intrigue. While the fight is far from confirmed, the pieces are in place for a potentially epic showdown. The contrasting styles, the weight difference, and the personalities involved all contribute to the anticipation. Whether it actually happens remains to be seen, but the discussion surrounding it has already captivated the boxing world. What do you think? Will Canelo and Crawford actually step into the ring together? Can Crawford overcome the size difference? Or will Canelo's power and experience be too much? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and tune in for more videos like this.